Thank you, QuickShot. I'm joined here by Hyonin, the AD carry from H2K after his win. I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on the current meta, though. With a lot of poke now coming through, has that influenced your bottom lane picks as AD carry?
I think Cork is pretty good, but if you can get Thresh, especially for me, I like to play Jinx with it, but we got caught a lot of times in the lane, and in my team fight in this game was really bad as well. Like, I was not really super focused about the Orianna, and one time bot lane, I didn't see his ulti in the brush, so I just ended up getting one-shotted by the Orianna, which was just really, really bad because they bought him like 2-3 minutes in the game. And then in the team fights mid, I flash for Orianna before she ults, which is really, really bad. I don't know what I was doing in team fights. Yeah, really bad game for me.
Oh, it's interesting you talk about the Jinx because, I mean, you did very well at the end of that game. You seem to be one of the only AD carries who's still sticking to that Jinx pick. Why is that?
I think Jinx is still pretty good. If is Kalista and Sivir is banned, people usually go just Corki. And then if Jinx is open as well, then I think Jinx is stronger than Corki later on in the game. That's the main reason right now. But otherwise, I don't really like Vayne too much into Corki as well, because if they have like this game, Rek'Sai and Gnar, who both will go for mail, you won't kill them super quick either way with the Vayne. And they have a lot of poke then, and you have to go all in, and I don't know. I just like the Jinx pick more at the moment at least.
Yeah, well, it looked very impressive in that game, at least, Hyonin. I do want to take a step back and look at your kind of predictions for playoffs, because you guys are now 9-3 after that win. You're looking very strong to go into playoffs. What are your hopes and dreams to go into playoffs? What are you looking for?
Yeah, it's obviously like the hopes is to win, but I don't honestly didn't think about it like last split yet. We try to just take every game after every game as usual and see how it goes.
Okay, just keeping it close to the chest. Thank you very much for the interview, Hyonin, and congratulations once again on the win. We're going to send it over to the analyst desk to break down the game and close out the day.
Thank you so much, Pulse. Nice to hear from Hyonin. He had a lot to say this time around, though felt a little bit tricky, especially with that Orianna. The Fisio, if you have to play 10 solo queue games now, and you have to play Orianna, tier Orianna or teleport Orianna, you get to pick.
Teleport.
Teleport still? Oh, after that Giants game? Okay. Well.
I just think in this current meta where so many champions are so strong in the mid game and with so many games are decided from how fast you can snowball there, if you can get that advantage by taking down some turrets as well. The tier Orianna, yes, you can sit and wave clear for days, but that's about it. I mean, I really feel like the scaling is way too slow. I'm not sure what your opinion is. I mean, you're CLG EU members, so maybe that's hard to play.
Well, to be fair, after seeing Deficio play, I think the correct option is whoever's in his team dodge. It doesn't matter if he plays at Orianna tier or TP, he's still going to lose the game. But yeah, overall, it's too slow, as you said, and I think that was the one opening in the early game for H2K. The pressure that Rio was exerting on that lane, it doesn't matter about gold or CS, and even if you just have the opportunity to like whittle the tower down or make the first move, and H2K completely took control of that game. One decent pick-off in the top left corner of the map from Unicorns, but that was all they brought to the table. And then later in the game, yeah, some tricky shockwaves, and Hyonin, he was a little critical of himself there. I like that. But his early game Jinx was still phenomenal, and for me, he's the only AD carry in Europe that makes the Jinx work well. Yeah, and we still also just see H2K. Despite, okay, there was some maybe tricky team fights where Hyonin got caught out and so on. When it comes to pushing that lead they have, they know what to do. The way they set up the vision around Barons and so on, the way they push down these towers is very, very effective. And they are still, even though they lost 2 games last week, even though there's been maybe a few mistakes here and there, they are still a fantastic team to watch.
Yeah, definitely are. So on the side of the Unicorns of Love, the Braum again as the counter for the Jace. But in a game like this, you're almost going to have 100% accuracy of dodging those for your team. So in the long run, I don't think it, well, just in general for the Unicorns of Love, it was too tall of a mountain to climb.
Yeah, at the same time, Braum, obviously, the surprise factor is gone. H2K obviously watched that game yesterday, so they knew it was coming. But they played too slow. I think their composition could have maybe worked if Power Evil exerted a little more pressure, but yesterday we were saying, you know, are the Unicorns back? And the answer is obviously no. Again, that same thing, you know, they play so proactive one game, and now they play so passive so far back. They let themselves get manhandled by H2K almost, and it puts you in an awkward position.
Yeah.
It seems like just a few key plays really determines how Unicorns play the game. If they manage to pull off the first few ganks they have and so on, they get super hypey and then they start really rolling and do well. But then in this game as well, it's like Hylissang and Power Velo with the tier together, trying 2v2 Ludex and Ryu.
Yep.
Obviously get destroyed, lose the mid tower, almost lost the next tower as well. And that's where everything just kind of falls flat then for Unicorns.
Yeah, for the Unicorns of Love, I think we are also back to, we don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to make an amazing playoff run again if they get there. We will see. We're going to pull up the standings because there's only 3 weeks left until the summer playoffs. And as the Fnatic, still undefeated, we're going to say it. Well, maybe it stops next week. We don't know. Then they're up against Origin. Origin, H2K, they're in the top 3. And we talked a lot about maybe the gap widening. Then OG today putting up a fantastic performance and H2K bouncing back as well. So what are your thoughts after these 2 days?
I mean, it was good to see that Origin was embracing the metagame right now with Poke, and we saw Expected jokingly say how boring he found to sit wave clear and Poke and still do the most damage in the game. But they've embraced it. H2K showed us last week already that they embraced the meta, so these top tier teams seem to be in sync. There's a bit of a gap widening near the bottom of the table, as we see Trevor trying to distract me. We'll get to you later, Trevor. You can stop dancing right now. Bottom table of the team. The bottom tier teams kind of further apart away, and then at the top, Fnatic is obviously miles ahead, but then 2 and 3 are still very locked in right now. So it's those bottom 3 spots in playoffs is what we're playing for, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, and then just middle of the table here, Gambit looking pretty good this week. Giants as well coming in. Had a great game versus Fnatic. They managed to win the game as well here. So it's very fun to follow these 2 teams in the middle and who can really pull out. Because now Rocket got the hopes up and then they lost the game.
It's not gone.
It's not gone.
No.
Top 6 is what they're aiming for.
Well, we'll see what happens. For now, though, we're going to head over to QuickShot and Stress for a look at this week's Power Players.
Thank you very much.